guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster, and I thought I'd do another video regarding fire lighting. I'll probably do quite a few of these just on different techniques and Tinders and things. And what I wanted to talk about today was birch bark. Now this, in my opinion, is one of the best fire lighting materials, certainly in the areas that that I regularly camp or practice bushcraft in. Now, the benefit of birch bark is obviously it's readily available provided you have birch trees around. It's almost a guaranteed way of lighting a fire because of the oils present in the birch bark, and it's actually really easy to use. So what I'll do, I'll zoom you in a little bit and I'll show you how we would process. This is dry birch bark, by the way. This is something that I've collected, just put into my workshop and just left to dry out naturally. This here is a lump of birch that it has started to dry out, in all fairness. It's not fresh today or anything. But next time I'm out in the woods I'll probably do a little short video just on taking it from a living tree. It doesn't damage the tree, provided you're careful and you don't sort of start trying to hack great lumps of it off or anything like that. But let me zoom you in and I'll show you how we go about processing the bark for lighting. Right guys, so here we have a small piece of dry birch bark which I showed you earlier. Now to process this is actually a very simple process, and what you need is a knife, or you can do this with a stone. You could probably even use a striker from a fire still if that's all you had to hand. Now again, you can use either the spine of your knife or you can use the sharp blade. It's entirely up to you. I tend to use the blade because I don't personally believe it does the blade any harm. There are some conflicting opinions on that depending on who you speak to. And what we're interested in is the outer side of the bark, so the white side as opposed to this kind of browny internal piece, because all the oils are stored just underneath this kind of papery finish here. And all you need to do, flatten it out, take your knife and just gently, and it does need to be done gently, start scraping, and straight away you can see I've got a just here, you know, a small pile, and we're certainly going to need more than that, but that's what you're looking for, this kind of very papery, very fine shavings. I'm just going to tip these into here so there's somewhere for them to sit. And again, the same with any kind of fire lighting and preparation. Yeah, preparation is your key. And what you want to make sure is, if you've made what you feel is enough tinder material, make some more. Is the short answer. I mean, obviously, as you become used to doing this, and you get more familiar with what you need, and certainly how much you need in certain conditions, you'll probably be able to do this more by eye. But the general rule of thumb, and certainly the way it was taught to me, is if you think you have enough, make some more. I mean, for the purpose of this video, we're not lighting a fire per se. All we're doing really is sort of proving the theory of how birch bark works. Now, if I was out in the field and I was trying to light a fire, I would keep all of these scrapings inside the birch bark itself, because the bark itself is still going to be full of oils, which will help us get our fire lit. For the purposes of this, and because I don't want to ruin my little carving stump, I'm going to keep them in here. Now hopefully you can see that nice little pile. I'm just going to pinch those together a little bit, get a bit more surface area. And what you want to do is make sure these are sort of like this, quite fluffed up. What you don't want to do is squash them flat, because there'll be less air in there for the fire to take. And you know what you want is for the spark to catch them and get a good flame to get the rest of your kindling going. Now I'm going to use this fire steel today, which I think you've seen before on one of my other videos. It's just a little bog standard one. You get some good sparks out of it with the striker. And all you need to do, especially for something like this, is actually put your these steel actually in the centre of the bundle. and then try and get some sparks in there. And there you go, 3 strikes and we've got a flame. At this point, I mean, obviously there would be more of that in there, plus being on this would eventually light as well. You can sort of curl this over and catch the edges, and then you'll start getting your very small kindling on there. But that is basically as simple as that to get a fire going with some birch bark. What I will do before I finish the video, I will just show you again how easy it is to do it with a piece of albeit not fresh birch, but yeah, this is still in a half round. It's still quite damp, certainly internally. And again, same thing, so I'll use the back of the knife for this just to show you that it can be done. And this is kind of how you would do it if you were out in the field. If you've got a living tree and there's no deadfalls around, this is the way I would do it. So you take the back of your knife and just gently but firmly scrape the back. Like so, and you start accumulating quite a nice little pile. It's a little bit windy today and I've got the workshop door open, so I will collect all this together just to get it in here. I mean, to be honest, that should probably do us. So again, got a nice good pile in here. We'll make sure it's all in one space, and again, so you just get your fire still and taking a few more sparks this time. And there you have it. So again, as you can see, it's not a difficult process. And because of the oils in the birch bark, you're pretty much guaranteed a fire. This could have been out in the woods. We could be out in the woods now. It could be raining. I'll be honest, it does make things a little bit more challenging when it's raining, when the bark itself is wet, because every time it sort of lights, the water tries to put it out. So you kind of have to sort of dry it off with a good few sparks and a couple of false lights first. But that, you know, it is really as simple as that. So that was how to process and light birch bark. I hope that was useful. I say it's something that I use very regularly when I'm out camping or practicing bushcraft. I think it's a wonderful material as a tinder, and it's certainly the first one that I would go to, unless I was doing something specific or trying to practice a new technique for some reason. But I hope that was useful to you guys. Any questions or comments, drop them in the box below, and hope to see you next time. Thanks a lot.